Hello YouTube, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and on this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here that was asked in YouTube search 480 times in recent memory. And that question is, how do I negotiate a severance package? Well, I'm going to answer that for you. Here's the reality. If you are receiving a severance package, you may not be receiving that because they are required by law to give you such a package. Instead, they are giving you that package because they would like you to agree to some things. Those things often include releases of all claims, non-compete provisions, arbitration provisions, non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality, a whole bunch of different things they could be asking for. Now, that in and of itself means the employer is willing to give you something, some money, some benefits, something, in return for you agreeing to those terms. There you go. You're in a negotiation. You already know what they're trying to buy, and you know what they're trying to give you. That's the price they're willing to pay, or at least that's the price they say they're willing to pay. Now, how do you negotiate? Well, ideally, with leverage, right? Listen, if you're not subject to a non-compete agreement, and they really, really want you to sign a non-compete agreement, or they want you to sign some confidentiality that you haven't agreed to, that's something. And they might be a little dishonest about how much they're willing to pay for that confidentiality or that non-compete, right? So you can go to them and say, listen, I would sign a 1-year non-compete, not to go to your biggest rival there, but I wouldn't sign it for 50 grand, which is what you're offering me now. I'd sign it, 150 grand. I mean, I gotta sit home for a year if I sign this agreement, and I get you don't want me to go work for your biggest competitor, your biggest rival, but got me some kids, got a family, got a mortgage, utilities, right? I need to live for a year if I can't go work for your biggest rival, because they're the ones who'd want to hire me because you both do the same thing, and I'm pretty good at that thing. Even though you're letting me go today, listen, we agree, I'm pretty good. Right? And listen, that's a great way to negotiate. Another great way to negotiate your severance package is say, hey, I think I have a claim against you. Like, I think I could sue you. I think you engaged in discrimination, or you didn't pay me correctly, or I experienced some sexual harassment, or, while I was working for you, or frankly, there's some retaliation, or any other claim. Really, any viable lawsuit you can potentially bring against this employer. And you could say, hey, thanks for that severance offer. I appreciate it, but I don't think it's really worth quite as much if I sign it as if I sued you. And I notice in that severance package, I have to agree to give up all my claims against you. And that's tough because you're only offering me like $50,000, and inflation's pretty scary. $50K is not what it used to be. It doesn't buy that much in a world where the a grocery bill for a family of 4 is like $400 a week. $50K goes pretty quick. So, I got this claim that might be worth a couple $100,000. And if I sign your severance package for 50 grand, I'm giving up a couple $100,000. Maybe we could work something out. Maybe there's a middle ground, because you want to pay me 50, and I think my claim might be worth 300, maybe 400. So maybe we have a conversation. Right? Maybe the severance has to go up. I'm just saying, it doesn't really make sense. Why would I sign this if I have a claim? I could go get an attorney. Now, I can go get an attorney, but it could be a lot cheaper for you if you just give me what I'm looking for. Right? See my point about leverage? It's a very different conversation. Here's what that conversation sounds like without leverage, without a claim or something the employer wants. Hey, boss, I know you decided to fire me. And listen, I disagree. I think I was great at my job, but you decided to fire me. You don't want me around anymore. But you only offered me $50,000, and I know you weren't necessarily required to offer me anything. But could I please have more than $50,000? Not the most compelling pitch, right? I mean, this is a person who's already chosen to terminate you. They've already decided they don't want you around. And you're asking them, please, can I have some more? Right? Like you're basically Oliver Twist. Please, sir, can I have some more? Like it's not necessarily going to work. You're saying, hey, corporate overlords, can you do the right thing? It could happen. Listen, there's definitely some employers, some businesses that like to do the right thing. They're out there. They get talked about from time to time. They get talked about because they're rare. They're unique. They're not the norm, right? The norm is, hey, we offered you 50 grand because we thought it was a good deal for us. We wanted you to agree to a couple things. We're not going to give you more. We don't want to give you more. The more we give you, the less we have. We don't like that. We don't want to do that. So no, we're not going to give you more, right? And that's the problem with saying just please, just going up to your boss, whoever it is, and saying, listen, I don't necessarily have any leverage, but like, I could use a little more money. Can you help me out? It's a tough pitch. It really is. There's not a lot of employers who are going to hear that and say, let me see what I can do. I suspect. I could be wrong. In my experience, though, that's not a great pitch, right? Our firm won't even take a severance negotiation unless you have leverage. If you have a viable claim that we can press to really get you more, to be like, listen, I get it. You offered severance and you want to give my client 50 grand. But here's the thing. I think you got some bad people working for you. And I think they did some bad things to my client. Frankly, I think my clients do $500,000, $500K here minimum. And, I could sue you and you could spend 50, 80, 100 grand trying to fight me off. Or you could do the right thing, stay out of the press, give my client some more money, right? I mean, that's just smart. That's rational self-interest. You don't gotta go pay an attorney $1,600 an hour to defend a case from me, and you can get my client to sign an agreement without anybody being the wiser necessarily, and my client be happy. You part on good terms. There's no bad blood between you all, and I think it's just better. It's better for everyone, and that's a much more compelling way to approach this for an employer, right? They're hearing rational self-interest. They're hearing, hey, this is good for you, right? If you do this, I don't have to hurt you. I don't have to ruin your day. I don't have to make a problem for you. And as a lawyer, if my client comes to hire me to, bring a claim against an employer, that's really what we're doing. We're saying, you did a bad thing. Now we kind of have to hurt you until we can get our clients money, right? Which is, not what anybody wants. We just want our clients to be taken care of and paid correctly and made whole for what was done to them. So the answer to the question is, how do I negotiate a severance package? With leverage. Always with leverage. You need something the employer wants, whether that's for you to sign a non-compete or for you to agree to confidentiality or for you to show them how the email system from 1989 works, right? That's anything they want, they can pay you for. Also, anything they're afraid of, they could pay you to make go away, like a lawsuit, right? So, I hope you have leverage. Go talk to a local employment attorney. Use your leverage. Get paid more. Good luck out there. If this was helpful, like, subscribe, comment down below. Share our channel so it can grow. It helps us to help more people just like you. Take care. Good luck.